Okay, I think we're live. What's up, everyone? Welcome, Squad, and welcome to Slav Guns. I'm glad to have you here. Today, we're looking at a gun auction. So let me see who's here. I'm actually going to share this stream. Cool. Just sharing it with the super secret squirrel. Hello, Gavin. Thank you for joining. Hello. It's awesome to see new people here. Alright, so they shall come. How's everyone doing today? And can you guys... Hello, Alex. How's the volume? Let me know on that. So first and foremost, I absolutely apologize. I was planning on 9:30 originally, but then I went grocery shopping and they had toilet paper in stock. So I was texting all my friends. I'm like, hey, who wants to come to Pennsylvania and pick up toilet paper? Things I never thought I would say. Awesome. All right, so this is an auction I'm really excited about. So Alderfer auction, and I've done live streams for the February auction. This was an auction that was planned for quite a while. So this was originally supposed to be April 21st and 22nd. Over 650 lots. And I think about 400 different guns between rifles, pistols, black powder, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And so generally these bigger auctions were live and online, but because being in Pennsylvania, Governor Wolf, and you can't have more than a couple of people together, so they've actually done it online only, and they brought up the auction, I guess, almost 2 weeks. Actually, exactly 2 weeks. They brought up the auction to basically because people are still at home. So we have a 2-day auction, April 7th and 8th. There's a link in the description of the live stream. So if you look in the description box, there's a link so you can follow there. And actually, I'll put it in chat so you can follow along. So it's split over 2 days. And you guys can actually participate in this too. So the auction house is in Pennsylvania. However, they will ship the guns to anywhere in the country. You pay for them, you bid, you win, and they'll ship it directly to your FFL. If you're in Pennsylvania, you can just make an appointment and pick up your guns. If you're in a surrounding state, so let's say for example like New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, or whatnot, and you win a long gun, you can come in and pick up that long gun, but handguns do have to be shipped to your state's FFL. Transfers are actually very reasonable. I think it pays like $10 for the gun, and we'll talk about it. But actually what I've done was in the past, I did a video for a different channel about purchasing firearms at a gun auction, and there it is. So the auction house actually has it listed, and I will put that here as well. so you can watch it later. But this was actually right at the auction house, and there was a Thompson. That was a really good deal, apparently. So yeah, auction day was the 18th, but they moved it up. Cool. So there's 2 days of the auction plus a third day. There's going to be a military auction. So let's go through. And if you have any questions, just pop them in the chat. I am looking over on the screen. I will be able to help answer them. Once again, I mean, hit the like button, share it with your friends. If you want to support the channel, just send super chats. That's definitely greatly appreciated. Oh, and before I get too far, the channel is coming up to a year. Tomorrow, probably around 8 or 9 in the morning, I'm going to have a really big announcement for the channel. So stay tuned. Now, a couple of people already know, and they know it's major. All right, so with the auction, I guess kind of like one of the things that you have to keep in mind when going to an auction. When you go and you're going to buy a gun at a dealer, or you're going to go buy a gun at a gun show, typically there's the price of the gun, you're going to pay sales tax, you're going to pay a transfer fee. With an auction, there's the auction price, plus you have a buyer's premium. Typically what happens is the buyer's premium, depending on whether you're buying it online or for which platform, is going to be anywhere. I've seen it as low as, let's say, 5%. There are some auctions with no buyer's premium, and as high as 30%. At Alderfer, they have a 20% online buyer's premium. What that covers is the credit card processing fees. It covers the marketing of the auction. And typically what the sellers also, let's say if you want to sell a gun, the sellers will pay a premium. So the seller's premium is generally gonna go, and it's about 10%, but that's generally going to go and pay for all of the advertising and the expenses of the auction house, and then the buyer's premium is what the auction house is actually going to generate in revenue. And like I said, I've been to some gun auctions, and I've bought guns at some auctions where there was no buyer's premium, or like, let's say 10%, and those places were like in pole barns that smelled, and you really thought the whole thing was going to collapse on you. Some of the bigger auctions, so for example like RIA, Rock Island Auction Company, you have Morphe Auctions, which does a lot of machine gun stuff. Those premiums are like 25 or 30%. So Alderfer is in the middle. It's a very nice auction house. One of the other things that you're getting, thank you for the super chat, Rich. The Boogaloo starts at 9 a.m. Yes, it does. One of the big things with a good auction house is, yes, there is buyer beware. However, if the gun doesn't work, or there's something wrong with it, the auction house will take the gun back. So that's probably one of the only places where you'll have a return policy of some sorts. So that's that. There's 2 ways to bid, so we're gonna go with the Alderfer online platform, and then there's also a service called Proxy Bid, which is a national service that has all of the auction houses. I'll actually just show you. And with Proxy Bid, so you can bid on the auctions, but like I said, you can just go search marketplace. Let's say, for example, you're looking for a Glock 17, and it's going to pull up all of the auctions that have Glock 17s coming up, and you can bid on them online. All right. And like, I guess kind of like the final note on there. So Alderfer Online, we have a 20% buyer's premium, and if you're using Proxy Bid, because it's an outside service, there's an additional 3%. So you have the buyer's premium, the price of the gun, there's a sales tax, and then there's going to be the shipping fee if you're shipping the gun, or if you're picking it up locally, there's going to be a small transfer fee. So you have to keep all those fees in mind, and that's why I did the video that I did before. Affordable Optics, Alex, you can just come down here, buddy. You're always welcome. All right, so let's look at the guns. So we have 329 lots that are going up for auction on the 7th, starting at 12. So here we have a lot of revolvers. So should we go through them one by one? Or just hit the big ones? Let's go. Alright, so this, let me know if you're a revolver person. Leave a comment in the chat or in the message. Smith & Wesson 1891 first model target single shot pistol. Now that looks cool. There's no bids on it. It's a 22 8-inch barrel, 99% condition. It looks like we have an plexiglass case. That is cool. I have absolutely zero interest in it. So there's no bids on it, obviously, right now. Asking $2,000 for an opening bid, but if no one gives the opening bid, it's just going to drop down. Made from 1893 to 1905. Wow. That is cool. Smith & Wesson 13-1. I wish there were some Smith revolver fans here. This is like a little older than I want. So one of the things that you notice, well, actually the Hillary lock would be on the other side. This is actually kind of cool. So you have that's exposed. No Hillary lock. Now, if you're not familiar with revolvers, they call it the Hillary lock because during the, and Rich, if you're in chat, you'll probably be able to tell me for sure. They forced a lot of the revolver companies to kind of come up with safety locks on it. So that's that you have a little hole on a Smith & Wesson revolvers right above the cylinder release. Beautiful condition. Starting at $200. I don't know the value on this. That is cool though. I mean, it's in really good shape. And that's one of the things you're going to have with your higher end auction houses. A 642-2. Yeah. A 637-2. Yeah, if I was a Smith per, ooh, this is kind of cool. So there you go. You can see the Hillary lock. So what it is, it's basically put in a key and you can lock the revolver. So someone's already has $300 on it. All right. This is a gun I'm really kind of tempted in. So what we have here is a Smith & Wesson 500. Now, I've actually shot one that's actually basically like this guy. So it's a short 4-inch barrel with the compensator here. But what I will say is that does not really do a lot. This was probably one of the only guns, I guess the first time I shot it was like 10 years ago now. We went to it was a local range meetup in Jersey. And his username is Johnny Dammit. He had one and he's like, here Max, go take shoot this one. And holy hell, my wrist hurt after this one. That is cool though. So it's $600 so far. Next bid is going to be $650. Any interest in this gun, or at least reviewing it for the channel? Because of what I might do is a serial number 47. No. What I might do is actually just request a new one from Smith & Wesson. Hey John. Oh, you're a revolver guy. We passed up a. So look, didn't you just? I think you just got a 642-2, didn't you? And I know you looked at the auction, so let me know in the chat which ones you're interested in. Now, what's the difference between the 637 and the 642? I guess one is, no, they're both 38 special. Yeah, but that Smith is interesting. We're going to get a Smith for the channel. In fact, I'm actually going to write this down right now. I'm not sure if I'm going to bid on this, but I am going to reach out to Smith & Wesson tomorrow. Okay, that's the difference. So the 642, and this is why I love you guys. Yeah, the 642. Well, no, we have the 637 is also an airweight, but the 642 has the concealed hammer. Smith 500. All right, moving on. So the Smith 500 we discussed, it's $600 right now. I think retail for about 12. So this could be interesting. But then again, I really don't know what the Bugaflu prices are on a lot of these guns. All right, Smith 27-2. I don't have one of these. Bright stainless finish. Now, one of the things I'll note, like a lot of these older Smiths, they have awesome triggers. Amazing triggers. Yeah, so no Hillary lock. So I think this is like the precursor to the 686. Now, there's one guy in our community called Pizza Bob, and like he knows all of this stuff, so I know he's gonna go crazy for it. Ooh, a 17-4. John, which one? This one or the previous one? Because I know there's a little bit of a delay. All right, the 17-4. This also looks nice. I do want a nice 22 revolver. I do have a Taurus right now, which is semi-functional. An original navy blue box with cleaning tools and papers. Wow. All right, I'm gonna actually let me log in. Haha. What is my username? You're not gonna guess that password. Apparently neither am I. Let me try that again. Oh wait, no, wrong email. I'm actually going to try this. Yes, we're logged in. All right, so where were we? 17-4. I want this, so I'm going to star it. And yeah, let's go 275. And I was already outbid. I will hit it later. It started, but we're going to take a look at this one. Username is I want to buy a gun. That is absolutely correct. Smith 14-3. Wow. No markings, excellent bore. I gotta say, like, these guns are like in really nice shape. What's going to be interesting is seeing the prices on the collector revolvers versus standard prices. Smith 28. Again, another nice gun. An original navy blue box with cleaning tools and papers. Now, the one interesting thing with the papers in the box, especially in the Colt world, like some of those boxes will go for a couple of $100 just for the box. And like I said, this has everything, so it's literally. I'm gonna message the auctioneer and find out what the story with these guns is or what collection they came out of. But it's not unheard of for a lot of the guys just basically just to buy a gun and just keep it in its box, throw it on the shelf, and never use it. Beautiful gun. .32 Smith & Wesson, 34-1. This is actually interesting. Look at this, like there's like nowhere on the bottom of the grips. Oh, okay, we're back. Okay, so was the 29 the original Dirty Harry gun or no? Or was that a different? No, I think it was the model 29. Woohoo, I'm still the high bidder on this. So I did preview this one. A Smith Model 57. I have one of these. So Model 57 is in 41 Magnum. So it's in between a 357 and a 44 mag. I have one with the 8-inch barrel in the presentation box and everything. Shot it once. But this would be a very nice matching pair. Now, if you don't reload, ammo would be a pain in the butt. Okay, so you have a little bit of a ding on the grips. Yeah, but otherwise it's exactly the same as mine, same painted. I'll actually see the serial number, how close it is to mine. But I guess it doesn't have a case. Hopefully if it stays at a reasonable price. Again, I don't need this gun, but it would be cool to have it. Especially if I'm not going to get my Barrett. Alright, so here we are already at the more modern stuff. Oh, this is cool. I love those grips. So this is a shooter. Unless it's just the varnish reflection. Yeah, it looks like. Yeah, it just looks like the light is reflecting. Huh. I think this would be interesting. I'm going to be adding this to the watch list. That is cool. Not bad. So this is the original 686. It's not even the 686 dash anything. And it's only 350 bucks so far. This would be a cool shooter. I guess you can even like carry this. It's gonna be interesting to see what this goes for. I don't plan on bidding it. Alright. 629, so once again we're going a little bit more modern. Oh, I'm sure it probably will. Um, but then again, I don't want to blow all my money on the Smiths, considering the Colts are coming up. And this is why this auction is just completely nuts. That there's what's funny is like sometimes you'll go to an auction and there'll be collectible Smiths but no Colts, or you'll go to an auction and there'll be collectible Colts but not Smiths. Here you have both, and some Rugers. Although maybe I should get some more new Ruger revolvers. All right, 629. Not bad. Okay, so these are the snake guns, and these are the good snake guns. Now, if it stays at 15, this would be so awesome. Awesome grips. Yeah, there's like barely a turn mark. And that royal blue finish. PE. I'll have to take a look at what the manufacturing date on that is. Okay, so this is actually one of the newer ones. Comes in the case though. But this case almost looks very similar to my King Cobra case. So I need a King Cobra. Well, I have a King Cobra. I have a Diamondback, a King Cobra, a brand new box Trooper Mark III. I do want an Anaconda and a Python. This would just be an amazing gun, but I'm afraid it's going to go way higher. Python, bright stainless. So it's not the electro nickel, but it is a stainless. Once again, in pristine condition. Yeah, so the King Cobras, 80s, 90s. I actually think they made some a little bit later as well. Like late 90s, I believe. Yeah, it's dang this Boogaloo flew, because I would love to see these guns in person. I would love to see these guns in person. It's literally somebody bought a Python. Right, Anaconda. My Anaconda. Cool gun. Again, in good shape. Very cool. Now I'm basically playing mind games to justify buying it. Like, okay, I know whose initials those could be. Like, I'm trying to justify serial number, but not the actual numbers. And funny story with that, I bought a Marlin Model 60 semi-auto tube-fed 22 because I love the serial number on it. It was also a decent deal. Okay, I want this. I really do. Alright, King Cobra. I already have one of these. Nice crown on there. Yep. It's exactly like mine. Colt Anaconda Custom Shop. 8-inch. Oh, I love the color of the grips. I'm not crazy about the porting, and I'm not familiar with the custom shop. But I love those grips. It's a big cool gun. And I haven't checked gun broker prices on them. Now this could be a sleeper. So it's a Diamondback. I have a Diamondback in electronickel. But mine's basically a shooter. I would love to get one in blued. I mean, it's not the royal blue finish. And those are the original. Yep, electronickel. I'll bring it out next time you come over. Okay, this I dig. I dig that. All right, Colt Anaconda double, another Anaconda. So there's 3 Anacondas. All right. So there's a Cobra. Yeah, this one's actually shot a couple of times. It's weird. I think this is going to be a good test. I haven't looked at the proxy bid prices to see what they've done at other auctions. So like on one hand, I think like the King Cobras, even the Pythons, like I said, if you have the new ones, even though they have issues, but the shooter ones have, the older ones have dropped in price, but none of these are shooter conditions. I mean, these are all really good collector conditions. It's going to be interesting to see what that does price-wise, plus with the Bugaflu. That's going to be interesting. Now, John, were you looking at just the Smiths, or were we looking at some of the Colts as well? Matte black. This is cool. They're all good. So this is actually interesting. Colt Army Special, New Jersey State Police. I guess it looks like it's in 100% condition, and I believe them. I don't know, is it just like stains or just needs to be wiped off on the cylinder. But it's in, I don't know if it's refinished, but it looks like it is in the box. But it does have, it looks like the newer manual and newer gun lock. So I am wondering if somebody sent it in to get refinished, possibly. I don't know. So we'll depend on the price. Could be cool. Trooper Mark III. So this could also be a good addition. I have a Mark III, but with a shorter barrel. Or maybe it's the exact same one. I'll go take a look. Oh, it's a cool serial number. 163-163-163L. Yep, and I have the same box, but what I don't see, so I see the styrofoam box, but I don't see the outside box, the outside sleeve. And like I said, those boxes and sleeves go for like $150. This could be interesting. See, I'm hoping that all the people spend all the money on revolvers, the other ones, so like they leave these to us. You're probably right. And a bunch of these little ones, which I know nothing about. Okay, then you have the single actions. And if you're just joining, thanks. There is a link in the description and earlier in the chat. Smack the like button. Ooh, there's a second Trooper Mark III. Yeah, so I have one like this. It's a 4-inch. Okay, now I'm going to really go check the serial number on mine, if it's close. If I might need to pick up another one. Oh, and this has a holster. But it doesn't have an original box. Alright. We're looking at that. This is interesting. Colt Magnum double carry. I never even knew about these. I know nothing about them. Recessed crown. Alright. Now if you have the Rugers. That actually reminds me, I was watching a video. I want one in 480 Ruger. Ruger Super Red Hawk. We will be doing a video on that. But this one's in a 454 Casull and 45 Colt. Oh, that's cool. Have it marked on some. What do you mean an error? Let me go back. What's the lot number on that? Hey Striker, thanks for joining. So literally it's about hanging out, and we are looking and going through previewing the auction to see if there's anything we want to keep our eye on. So John, I know nothing about it. What's the error? What do you think is the error? And Striker, no apps. Okay. That would be a good point. So actually what I'm going to check is... I have... Oops. I dropped my microphone. That hurt. All right. Now, but see, the way it works, Striker, is you're going to be here, and since you have the link to the auction, you're going to be like, ooh, I think I want that. And there's a lot. I definitely... There's a link in the description. And all gun guys are enablers. Okay, Colt. Okay, Banker Special. So, As per this book, the Banker Special 2-inch barrel blued square butt, okay. Square butt standard through 1933, round butt standard 1934 through 1940. Banker Special 38 cal, available in 38 Colt Police Positive or 38 Smith & Wesson. And then there's also available in 22. Cool. So what I'll do is actually I will send him a message. So 10:53, I will send the auctioneer a message that they have it wrong. Yay, John gets a prize. But you know what, though, like an error like that, since it's factual, if you weren't happy with it, I'm sure they would take it back. All right. Jesus. Wow. Striker, hope you feel better. And no, not snarky at all. You gotta do what you gotta do. Alright, so we have Ruger's new model Black Hawk. Once again, these are in really good condition. I don't like single action revolvers, even though I have a couple of them. Single 6 and 22 mag. Oh, I didn't. It's pretty, nickel. Actually, I have one of these. I have the new single 6. Sorry, I'm munching. Beautiful. You still have the original cap on there. SP101 and 22. This could be cool. Uh, 1059. Let's go back up. Yeah, so my understanding is most of these you can convert. Once again, I don't know much about the single action ones. But this is interesting. We've added it to the list. So like I said, the auction is next week. We shall see. So the GP100, built like a tank. Yeah, it's like I don't think it's ever been shot. Okay. Weren't the 22s also, didn't they come with 22 Magnum? Okay, Taurus Judge. Yeah, everyone has a Judge. H&R 650. Yeah. Now this is actually one of the guns I was like, I think I want to get. In the last 3 auctions, there have been plenty of Dan Wesson 15s. So what's cool is that you can just take the barrel and change it out to different length. And the triggers on these are pretty good. Last one I saw was a pretty good price, but it started to rust. There's like a little bit of rust on the barrel. Ooh, hiccups. But this looks great. That's it. So, unlike gun stores, most of the guns that are at an auction are coming from an estate sale. So, I mean, you can see there's either like on tags you'll have original notes or original manuals that like somebody literally just bought, typed up, put in their collection, and you have, wow, this, I think we should be buying this, as long as it doesn't go for too crazy money. And I don't think it will. There's the where. I think somebody had like a scope attached to it. Because the rest of the gun looks like in really, really good shape, except there's wear on top. You have a Dan Wesson? You should bring it out. This is cool. All right, I'm not going to bid on it yet, but I'm absolutely adding it to the watch list. Stoker 45 long called Astra. I did not know we make them. This is interesting. I think if my name was Ian McCullen. $140. I'll have to take a look at that. Get 22 mag. Alright, so here we go finally into the semi-autos. Would you like an LCP? You don't have just one choice. You have choices of colors and varieties. Yeah, we're okay. I like the LCP2 better. Somebody's $330 for the... That's nuts. That's nuts. That is nuts. Alright, at least the modern stuff, the LCP2 is going so far for a decent price. Yeah, those are the original rubber bands that come on them. So this is the Ruger rubber band that came on my Ruger American pistol that we're going to have a video on probably in a week or two. The brand new one that they just announced. Ruger Mark 1 target. And once again, these all look like in good shape. Pretty cool guns. So this is going to be an interesting gun for anybody, i.e. John. MMP9 Pro, this is the core, so it's optics ready, and it has suppressor sights and has a fretted barrel. So this would be a very nice suppressor host for somebody. This could be a cool gun. And these guns are actually fairly popular in the USPSA, or at least they were. Yep, original box, all that stuff, 99% finish. So once again, somebody bought it and didn't do much with it. It's going to be interesting to track this. I'm going to send it to a couple of people who might be interested. Okay, we'll take a look at that one. Smith & Wesson 9 MMP 2.0. So the major difference between the original and the M2.0, the 2.0 had an upgraded trigger, and it had slide serrations on the front, and the stippling was changed a little bit. All right, MNP 22, pretty cool trainer. Threaded barrel, 225. It's already getting up there in price. Now the thing that I don't understand is the Sigma, the Sigma series of pistols. They're going for more than the M&P, even though these were the entry level guns. I don't get it. And the triggers on these guns was horrible. Like horrible, horrible, horrible. Unless we're getting collectible now. So not only is it like a worse trigger, but it's also in 40. Although I guess you can find 40 caliber ammo now. Okay, the Smith 39. I don't know anything about this series of guns. This could be interesting. Well, so the Sigmas, they're actually under contract. We sent them to the Middle East, and people do like them. Okay. Looks like a high power. A little bit. Like, if you didn't have this front part here, like looking forward, it looks like a high power. Striker, so Striker wrote a comment. I only own guns that were commercial flops. So one of the ones I will say, I like the Glock 37 and the 45 gap round. I like it. But I would say we're just eclectic. Beretta Model 8000 Cougar. Model 96. Why? '92S. The heck is this? I don't know anything about these. But if it's gonna go cheap, go fill it with tannerite and blow it up. I am still looking for a high point to fill with tannerite and blow up. Yeah, I was offered a bunch of like cheapy throwaway guns that like no one wants, and we might do that. Striker, so I don't drive a Saab. I was close to getting a Saab. We did have a Volvo, and then I did drive a BMW, but I did use my turn signals. But I was in Jersey. Since moving to Pennsylvania, you realize that no one really cares what you drive. And we drive a lot less, so I drive an Expedition right now. But Saabs were cool. The cockpit was like flying a jet. Striker, so close though. So the Yeet Cannon 9, I was talking to him about it at SHOT Show. We'll definitely have one. It's going to be whenever they come up with them. And just got an email, but High Point is closing for the next couple of weeks to do cleaning and maintenance and stuff like that, and along with their distributor MKS, which also does Barnell ammo, and a couple others. So who knows? But I mean, you know, like that's like the biggest letdown. It's like they introduced it a year and a half ago now, and still nothing. It's a freaking High Point. It's like it shouldn't take you that long to do that. Okay, now these two guns I'm definitely interested in. So Colt Delta Elites in 10 mil. This is cool. I mean, it's not a Bren 10, but it's a 1911 and 10 millimeter. What's not to like? A high grade by High Point. Well, we're not going to put Yeet Cannon on it. It's just going to be YC9. And, like, they did it begrudgingly. Yeah, so basically this looks like in really good shape. And I guess we have the zip tie in there so you don't open it or fire it because it's in unfired condition. So there's a so that's the elite government model, and then there's the gold cup, and I believe the gold cup had a different finish. This is cool. We'll try. We'll keep an eye out on both of them. Okay. Once again, these are like for collectors. I know a couple of guys who collect Colt semi-autos, and it's just I know nothing about them, so I'm just gonna skip them. Like, why is this $500 and like some of the other ones are like 200? I have no clue. These are pretty cool. They look like a mix between the Smith & Wesson 22A and the Beretta Nias, which is an interesting gun with a decent trigger. Oh, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, that's a lot of woodsmen. Colt Combat Commander semi-auto. It's a 1911. Doesn't look like... Wow, this is like finally I think the first gun that's not in great shape. So that's the original high point. But like I said, the high points is like one of the, because it's a direct blowback. There's a video of me shooting it. I'm glad I had a couple of friends with me. Like I said, one of the shots, look, so like shooting a gangster style, it was fine. But like when I shot it properly, I got shooting pains down my wrist. And fortunately, like I just had to tell somebody, here, take the gun for me. I can't, like, I had like shooting pains down my wrist for like the next couple of days. Once again, direct blowback, even though I don't have an issue with any other guns, and that's the story of why I want to blow up a high point. And the worst part about it, we were at SHOT Show, and I was telling the president of High Point's distributor that, hey, can you send me a high point? I want to fill it. I'm gonna do a review, but then I'm gonna fill it with Tannerite and shoot it with a 50 BMG. And he didn't say no. So we shall see. Interesting with a 45. Okay, John, I think I lost you in translation there somewhere. It would be cool. Definitely. All right, Colt Commander, semi-auto. Okay, we talked about that. Browning high power. This is gonna go. This is one market I really don't understand. So it's Mark II. And this is probably gonna go for 1500. The price on these just completely shot up. That's a Belgian. The price on these completely shot up. I have a really good condition one from 1975. And what's weird about these is actually at one point I had a Mark II and a Mark III. Sold a Mark III to a friend of mine. Like I said, the high power, it's a gun that I loved shooting, but I never really, unless I was taking it out to the range because somebody was interested in it, like it wasn't one of those guns that like I was like, hey, you know what, I'm going to take this gun with me to the range today just because I enjoy it. I mean, it was the original high capacity gun, but the trigger on it, the stock trigger sucks. You have the magazine disconnect. You have mags that were very iffy. You have the spur hammer that would really bite you every so often. So you had to put work on it, but it's just weird. Oh no. So the high point was a the blowback. No, I love 1911s. 1911s are God's gift to Earth. I love 1911s. I have no issues with 1911s. High points, yes. Oh, this is a cute Browning Buckmark. Once again, one of the newer ones. And I love how they set themselves apart with the yellow trigger. And up until the Mark IV, I mean, one of the reasons why they sold as well as they did, I mean, they were accurate, but they're the second easiest gun to take apart because there's just that screw here that you undo and you can take the barrel out. Versus the it's like if it's under $300, I would definitely just throw it in. It'd be interesting. This is going to be a good gun that I think is going to go for a very reasonable price. The CZP-10C. Again, and it's in almost pristine condition. I think this is going to go for a good price. Like, actually, like, decent price. And it's a pretty good gun. So I'll mark it to just for somebody. Worst case, I'll buy it and then. Okay, 2075. That's a decent carry gun. P07. So this is their polymer double. This was basically one of the first polymer versions of an updated CZ75. It's not bad. I'm not crazy about it. There's some people who really like them a lot. Here's the safety. Now, if it had a fretted barrel, I want a P10C with a fretted barrel, because that'd be a really good suppressor host. Otherwise, it's not bad. Decent gun, but I think I'd still rather have the P10C versus the P07. And I say that as a CZ75 fanboy. Alright, Walther PPS. Cool carry gun. Surprised that it's already this much. So I think this is the Booga Flu prices already. Because, I mean, Walther couldn't give these guns away. And that's in 40. So that's interesting. So it's like, so far we have 2 guns. The 40 is going for more than the 9. I mean, but granted, I mean, we still have a week before the auction goes. And once again, so the way the process works is you can pre-bid now, and then the auction starts closing up. So what would happen if it was a combination of a live auction and an in-person auction? When the auction starts, all the prices get locked in, and whoever has the highest bid, that's what they started at on the floor. And then if nobody bids that price on the floor, then whoever bid it online wins. But because this is an online only auction because of COVID, it's just basically they're going to start closing up, and then that's just what it is. All right. PPKS Aristocrat. All right, so this is a Smith & Wesson import. Striker, that's a great question. So Striker asked the question: what gun are you predicting to crater in value hardest after all the panic bought guns hit the used market? I'm a little disconnected with the crazy prices out there right now. Maybe on the ARs, but I mean, like, there's still a lot of inventory, and most of the dealers, and I don't know whether it's because they know me or I just associate with normal dealers, they're not gouging on prices on guns. On ammo, yeah, I mean, basically we're asking like $16, $17 a box in 9mm, which is, if you ask me, but it is what it is. I don't know, I'll probably say ARs. Like your basic ARs. Because, I mean, that's what most people are going to be buying right now to get started. So, just like any other time, ARs. But I will say, so like even locally, about a week ago, my wife's friends, they wanted to buy their first gun. So, PC carbine they bought, and they paid $600 which is a very reasonable price for a brand new PC carbine, which had MSRP of $699. So it looks at, I mean, I really haven't seen a lot of gouging on those prices. I think you will see on the 12 gauges on the shotguns. I mean, I personally think it's a little bit of a. I think it's stupid to get a 12 gauge for home defense. I mean, yeah, you have the whole rack thing, but if you're a guy, yeah, sure. But if you're a small woman, you're not going to be shooting a 12 gauge. A pistol caliber carbine or an AR. Precisely, John. And there looks like there's a glut of parts coming onto the market. So I'll include a link to this for an article I'm writing. But in 08, before Sandy Hook, there is very low production capacity, and there is stupid, and the manufacturers were very lean with inventory. And there's a big spike and an ongoing and sustained spike in sales. And that's why prices really, really, really went up. Right now, there are still inventories out there. They're just at the distributor levels or they're at the manufacturer levels. So when people went into the gun stores to buy guns, they cleaned out the gun store inventories, but then basically those gun stores ordered more inventory, and then from the distributors, and the distributors were cleaned out and they ordered more from the manufacturers. So there's still guns out there. It's not that sustained. And once again, the biggest difference between now and 10 years ago is that the manufacturers are like so much bigger and there's so many more players in a space that they can just keep on pumping and producing guns if they wanted to. So most manufacturers still could have increased their production capacity by 30 to 50%. They could have done that, and they're doing that. I mean, they're absolutely producing more guns. So that's going to be there. I think on ammo, it's a little bit tougher. But once again, though, I mean, anybody can start producing ammo, and there's still a lot of stuff coming into the market. So we might have a lot of people coming in. There'll be some people who kind of they'll forget about the first guns, and they'll start selling them. But honestly, I haven't seen like a huge spike in the sale prices. No, absolutely, and I think like a lot of the shotguns in particular at auctions, you can buy them pretty damn cheap, um, and you're gonna have a lot of unused shotguns that are gonna go pretty damn cheap. Okay, this engraved one. Oh wow, what the heck's on that barrel? Is that engraved or it just looks like rust? Yeah, it looks like rust spots. Yeah, but let's say the biggest thing for me though is, like I said, this was a Smith & Wesson import. Or was this a Smith & Wesson contract gun? No, honestly, like I said, a lot of the gun stores around me that I visit, they still had guns. Okay, this is a tailored exclusive. Striker, where do you live? Yeah, so there are some that were made here under contract. There are some that were imported. Um, so this was actually U.S. made, it looks like. Yeah, Maine. Yeah, it does nothing for me. All right, Inter Arms import PPK S22. I do have a new one that we'll do a video on shortly. All right, XD45 Tactical. This is one of the original ones. Could be interesting. Okay. Very cool. All right, Springfield 1911. It's in 1911. So this could be an interesting gun for somebody. So the Sonic, the TP9 SF Elite. Good gun. This one is not the optics ready one. It still has the original trigger. I often get asked what I think about the Sonics, and they're good guns, but ultimately it really depends on how you feel about having a gun made in Turkey. That's ultimately what it is. If you're okay with it, have it. If not, then move on. All right, Keltec P11, Ramline Extractor. Is this like a Saturday night special? Looks interesting. Okay, Para 1911. I wanted one of these, but they made them in 45 gap. So there's 5 guns total made in 45 gap. The Glock 37 full size, 38 compact, well, semi-compact, and then the 39 subcompact. Then you have the XD45 gap Springfield, and then you have the Para made the 45 gap Warhawk. I'm looking for one of those. Robar R9. I wonder what this is gonna go for. I mean, these were stupid expensive. These were stupid expensive pocket carry guns. And then a whole bunch of other people started making guns. Wow. And I think, honestly, I don't remember seeing them at SHOT Show. Are they still around? This is horrible. I have to Google whether we're still around. I do not see a website. Produced till 2014. Robar. Robach. I definitely know the Para isn't. If this is gonna go stupid cheap, I'm gonna be tempted in it. Yep, there's nothing. Okay. Yeah, so the gun is definitely not produced anymore, but I was just wondering whether the company was still around. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna add it to the list. But like I said, these were, I think, like $1,500, man. Like, they're pretty expensive. But Para is actually back, I believe. Thomas Travassi made a lot of competition guns with them recently. Okay. Cool gun. Hate the grips. Oh, this is the one with the crimson trace. Covert 2. So the reason why it was expensive is it was an ultra compact 9mm that was reliable. Okay. This could be interesting. I don't like lasers on guns. I think they're stupid and they're a crutch. Okay, so the laser is in the grips. It's not in the guide rod. I think those are kind of silly. Could be interesting. So at these auctions, a lot of the Kimber 1911s went fairly cheap before. All right, VP9. It's a VP9. Do we really need to talk about it? Now, the one I am tempted in P7 M13, and it looks like in really good shape. Hopefully it goes for not too crazy money. 13 rounds squeeze cocker. These are just awesome guns. Yeah. I sold my P7 PSP. I would love to have an M13. Now the other ones, wow, it's already $3,700. So this is an original SIG P210, the first ones that came in. And this is just in amazing shape. These guns are like stupid accurate because you can see that it has the rails, so it like it rides inside, just like a CZ75. Stupid accurate. Very cool guns. Original case. Cleaning tools, mag loader, paper. The entire package. For SIG aficionados, it's cool. Alright. Glock 19, Glock 23, 23, 43. Do we even need to look at these? They're Glocks. Okay. This is another one I'm interested in. Desert Eagle in 44. So this is the not original ones, but this is so the very first ones were made in the United States. They had issues, then they exported them and had IWI, Israeli Weapons Industry. Well, it used to be IMI, Israeli Military Industries, which is now IWI. They made these, and then they brought the production back. But once again, look, there's no rail on top of them. It would attach right underneath here. The new American-made Desert Eagles, they have a Picatinny rail on top. Not surprising, Striker. So this could be cool. I am watching it. I did always want a Desert Eagle, but preferably a gold tiger stripe and a 50 AE. Okay, Car E9. So Cobra M11, so it is not full auto. And it has a fake suppressor. We're not even talking about it. Same thing with the Vulcan Arms Mac 10 V10. Once again, it's not fully auto. Caltech P32. Okay, so these are probably going to go cheap. So this could be a good gun for somebody. The Arms Corps. They make decent guns. So Arms Corps RIA were made in the Philippines, and they actually produce guns for. They actually made a lot of the guns for STI and some others for lower end guns. Could be interesting. Okay. Unique rare Model L semi-auto pistol. I don't get it. So does that like fit inside that? Pistol clips into the carbine housing to become the action of the carbine. Cool. Wait, so it actually says unique. Made in France. This is really interesting. I've never heard about this. Too bad they didn't show it clipped in. That's really cool. Alright. Bunch of Derringers. And a bunch of Thompson Centers. I haven't gone into the Thompson Centers. So this is interesting. So bolt action pistol. Okay. We're back. All right. So two. Okay, so we have the 50. Okay, so there's like a couple of them. And then we're back to the shotguns. So we have a yes, we are. See, Striker, and you wonder, you came in originally like, oh, it's like, what's the point? And now you're interested, and maybe we'll get you to bid on something. Browning B8. So these are already the shotguns. And I really don't know much about these. What I do know is that a lot of the shotguns, a lot of the high-end shotguns, they do end up going fairly cheap. Especially for like I mean, there are a couple of Krieghoffs, some high-end Berettas that run very reasonably. So if you're looking for anything like that, absolutely do take a look. And once again, there's a link in the description. And some of these are basically new. And there's like your basic home defense ones. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be really, really, really interesting. Yeah, guys, sorry, I can't tell you anything about these, and that's one of the reasons why I haven't done shotgun videos, because quite frankly, I don't know about shotguns. Now, what is cool though is this. It's an Abercrombie and Fitch takedown leather shotgun case. I was shocked by this. I did not know Abercrombie and Fitch made shotgun cases. I mean, now they cater to teeny boppers with cool clothing. But that's just cool. That's really cool. SKS side by side? What number? What number is that, John? Now this could be a really cool gun. So this is one of the early Satoris, which were made in Japan by Moroku. These are really nice guns. Wow, I did not know that. So I'm 30. Hold on, I'm 36. I did not know we did that. And at some point we turned into a hip clothing store. Really cool. 1193. So let's go to John's. Oh, SKB, okay. Love the finish on it, looks pretty good. Cool. Oh, so wait, so it's made in Japan. Uh, huh. Very cool. Yeah. Yeah, so they're asking 500, but there's like no bids on it yet. So if there's no bids, it just drops down and then it goes back up. But that's cool. Once again, I don't know the values on those, but I think there's going to be some good prices on those shotguns. Typically on the side by sides and stuff, you can get a pretty good price on them. Especially since right now most of the people are looking at your tactical stuff. Although there are some collectible ones, so like for example, like the Ruger Red Label shotguns. Like I said, it's ever since Ruger stopped making them, um, those prices are just nuts. Okay, then we have 22s. Yeah, so these are like the CMP type guns. No, these are not 22s yet. Model 25, Model 10. Now, I am kind of interested in like a 300 Win Mag that we can get, that we can rechamber to a 300 PRC. Interesting. Yeah, but sometimes, like I don't know, maybe it was hunting season, but the previous ones, like I said, a lot of these basic guns did go up in fairly high in price. Pretty much retail price. What I will say though is where you can save money is like if you're buying the gun and it's pretty much like store price, where like you get a scope for free, and oftentimes it's a pretty nice scope. Bunch of Remy's. Okay, Winchester Model 70s, 30-06, 30-06, 30 guns, 338 Win Mag, 300 H&H. Yeah, and then like you kind of get into like some oddball calibers like 220 Swift. There's 222, 257 Roberts. That's a screamer. Ooh, okay. M77. Limited edition National Wild Turkey Federation. Yeah, so Ruger does make a lot of these special edition type guns, and it's not fretted. If it's cheap enough. It would suck. I mean, I would want it fretted. But these are cool guns. I do like the controlled round feed action on these versus the newer Ruger Americans or the Ruger Precision Rifle, which is push feed. Yes, yeah, so Sacco. This is the one I looked at before. It's in 222 Remington. And sometimes you kind of get these sporterized, bastardized guns that end up going fairly cheap. 1924 CZ Mauser. Couple of sporterized Mausers. Pump action rifles, which I did not know they exist. These usually go fairly high up in price here. And are collectors or whatnot. Levers, haven't seen levers in a bit. Winchester 94s, these are probably going to go for a good price. Okay. That is a good idea. Push feed versus controlled round feed. So think basically your typical Mauser action versus like your Remington 700 action. So the difference is, and it's already getting late, so I apologize. So with a push feed, basically the bolt is going to push the round into the chamber, but it doesn't have full control over it. With controlled round feed, the extractor grabs onto it and it kind of controls it on the way in and on the way out. So generally, it was considered more reliable, but it does take more force to close the bolt. If you go on an African safari, a lot of the guide outfits will still tell you come with the controlled round feed action, because one of the times that basically happens is if you go a little too quick, you might run the bolt and it doesn't pick up the round. And actually, what video did I just record? I recorded a video recently where that did happen to me a couple of times with the Rugers, versus that never happens with the control round feed Hawkeyes. But it's personal preference. Google it, but I'll probably do all the way in and out of the barrel. So not just in. And really kind of like the whole premise behind it is if you're going to Africa and you're hunting dangerous game, like if there's a charging rhino or an elephant coming at you, and you miss a shot, you got to make sure that the next round goes in. Okay. Oh, a bunch of these guns dead. .22s, 22 Hornet. So MK2. Okay, so these are your target 22s. These, honestly, a lot of these should go for like under $100. Unless they're collectible. Alright, so that looks like day one. Yeah, a bunch of 22s. Ooh, a Ruger 1022 looks like one of the earlier ones. Ruger 1022 Mannlicher semi-auto. I did not even know about this. Very interesting. Did not even know these were made. They are vegetarian, but we're not going to eat you, but they're going to rush at you and stick you with the horn. And then you have collectible 22 ammo. Very cool. All right, so that's day one. And we're already like an hour and a half and it's getting late, so we're going to do, I think, day two tomorrow. But no, tomorrow, so like day two, I'll just give you kind of like some of the highlights. Day two is going to have this. It's a Barrett M82A1. All right, rolling blocks and all those stuff, not interesting to me, at least. I apologized. So actually, let me leave a link for these. Okay. 1366. Oh, let's just do it now. M82A1, 4450. So retail on these is about 8 G's. Dealer costs about 6,500. I mean, it's reaching my limit to what I would want to pay for the gun. But it's cool. The problem is it's like, it's the finish on it. Oh shit, in these pictures it looks a lot better. But there's stains all over it. So then you have a matching scope that came on the Barrett, which is the Swarovski 10x42. Alright, and then this is the big deal. So these are Raufoss rounds. Go look them up. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know about getting their finish retouched, like how much it's going to cost and everything. I do not know. But Google those rounds. So they're armor piercing explosive. Each round is about $70 usually. So we're selling them in 10 round lots, and there are a lot of fakes, but from the looks of it, these are actually pretty good. I do want a 50. If I don't get that, I might still bid and see what the Raufoss rounds are going to go for, and either flip them or save some. But yeah, I mean, realistically, these can go for about $500 per lot, as those rounds are stupid expensive. Literally, look at those videos. Alright, then we have 100 rounds of Lake City 50 BMG. This is regular ball ammo. 1, 2, 3 lots. So 300 rounds. Decent price so far. I think basically anything under, well, $2 or $3 per round is a good price. I'll probably be interested in these. No one's bid on them yet, which is just basically the bullets, which is the most expensive parts, and that's basically what you're spending your money on. No bids on it yet. So those are basically pulled bullets. Alright, then we have the RCBS press and dies for reloading 50 BMG. So this is pretty much a $600-700 package deal. Yeah, you'll probably need that. Yeah, precisely. Well, the other John, the other John that we're thinking about, he already has enough ammo. He wanted to shoot it. He has enough ammo, but he does actually need, I guess, better ammo that is not going to blow up people's guns. That's a funny story. Yep. Alright, so Norinco AK type 56. Then we have a 47S underfolder. This is pretty cool. Then we have a Chinese SKS in this plastic furniture. Might rescue it. Alright, Barrett Rex 7. These are really nice guns. Really cool guns. Will be interesting to see what these go for. Okay. HK91 and an HK93. These might end up going for pretty good money. SKS is awesome. I have a couple. I have a really nice Russian. Okay, Mini 14 and 223. There's your AR. So far, 475, 475. So I mean, the prices here aren't really crazy yet. 9mm Colt AR. Not bad. Colt M4. Alright, semi-auto Uzi. Now, if this was full auto, I'd go crazy for it. If this was full auto, I'd go crazy for it. This is a Cougar, a Romanian, Wasser 10. This could be a good gun for somebody. These are actually interesting. So the Marlin Model 45, these are the camp guns. They stopped making them. Yeah, pretty decently priced already too. One of the earlier pistol caliber carbines. John, honestly, I don't know. So I mean, it's $475. I honestly, I don't know. I've never even considered purchasing a semi-auto one. Never. Okay, this looks interesting. Is this another one? Last auction, there were a couple of Bergara B14s. It looks like it's the same one. I'll compare the serial numbers to the previous auction. New in box. A lot of these guns are really good. I'm waiting for one in 6.5 PRC. Been waiting for a lot. What the is this? Camo companion. Please tell me it's not a homemade job. No, it's not. Very limited production of 150 pieces. This is like Colt Factory. Oh my god, it is. Wow. That's just not my style. Yes, but that one was produced by Colt. Alright. Lugers. These are your collectible military type guns. Doesn't say if its number is matching. 6135, 369. That doesn't look like it's matching. Okay, Colt model 1917. Okay. This is going to be a cool gun. T&W, they did conversions of MG34s to semi-auto. These are about $4,000 when they did them. John, so honestly, the Luger prices, I've seen plenty under $1,000 too. It's very hit or miss. In Jersey, I think they went for higher prices than in here in Pennsylvania. This is gonna be interesting. Okay, so here we have another interesting gun, M1 Garand Sniper. Striker. So a lot of people, if you're a collector, it's all about having numbers match because they'll probably never shoot the gun themselves. It's about matching numbers. Just the rarity of that. Matching numbers guns they'll do crazy collector value. Absolutely crazy prices for collector value. This is going to be a gun that goes for good money. I probably have a friend. I was gonna say I'm gonna send it to a friend of mine who goes nuts for these, but I'm sure he already saw this. We'll be watching it. I'm not bidding on it. It looks like a tacticalized M1A. Blue Sky Garands. So these are the ones that imported back from Philippines, I believe. Again, I do want a Garand. I don't actually have one right now. Okay, Inland M1. National Postmeter M1. This one doesn't say whether it's Blue Sky or not. I think I would want to pick up an M1 carbine. just to shoot around, just to see what all the hoopla is about. There's a bunch of them. But you know, like, to me, like, this is so cool. Like, you have companies like IBM making guns. One of the guns that I picked up from my collection recently, which I really like, is I like Mosins. I picked up a Remington Mosin. Actually, no, it wasn't Remington. It was Westinghouse. My apologies. So you have, besides Soviet Union, Mosins were made in France by Shutterlow, and they're made under contract in the United States by Remington and Westinghouse. John said there's plenty of M1 carbines for you here. Okay. Enfield sniper. In one of those little cases. This is cool. Alright, now guns that are going to go for crazy money. The G43 and the G41. And there's the Mauser sniper. So we'll definitely be watching these guns. Again, I don't know anything about these. Now, the one that I want is this. It's an SVT-40 sniper. And I saw this one actually in person. It is in amazing condition. So I already have an SVT-40, but I want an SVT-40 sniper, and this one actually is good. It's exactly what it's supposed to be. I want one. So as long as it stays reasonable, I'm going to be all over it. Particularly because I'm most likely not going to get the Garand. So if you want to support and you want to see me buy the SVT-40, feel free to support the channel, Patreon, or send a super chat. Swedish Mausers. Arisaka. So one of the interesting ones recently, like there have been so many auctions with Arisakas. So a couple of years ago, you couldn't give an Arisaka away. Over the last year or two, they really jumped up in price. Yeah, there's a couple of them. Okay, so this is already the black powder stuff. I know nothing about nothing with black powder. See, I'm not like other YouTubers. I don't pretend to be an expert on stuff that I really have no clue on. I'll tell you up front. Besides, that looks cool. Shotgun conversion. Okay. Percussion revolvers. Huh. That is cool. This is like a knuckle duster. Alright, so then basically... So all of it was guns pretty much. 492. So we had at least 475, 480 guns in this auction. And then you have accessories. Like a bear. Taxidermy can go cheap or it can go stupid expensive here. So like, for example, like all of these mounts, like for already like 45 bucks now. You're able to pick these up for like 20 bucks at a live auction. Caribou, cool. Bear skull and a bear rug. Prints. A lot of 2 wood TNT and Remington Express crates. Huh. I like the joinery. It's simple joinery. Very cool. DuPont. That would be cool. There's somebody already bid $70. What's interesting is like a couple of auctions ago, you'll go in there and there'll be like, let's say, like antique ammo. I'm already used to that it's going to go for high prices. What I didn't expect is antique reloading supplies, like dies, presses. There was like one auction where he had a bunch of old rusted reloading presses that to a reloader has zero value, but they were going up and up in price, and it was like two guys bidding each other. They were interior designers in New York City, and they're buying it for their design business and paying stupid prices. No police turn-ins in at this auction, and generally not at this one. Typically, the police turn-ins, they'll have their own auction company, and they'll do those. Okay, air pistols. Metal prop submachine gun. Holsters, extra barrel. Custom built black powder single shot barrel. Loading copy 1919 machine gun top cover. Wow, they made this black powder. Okay, bolts for an 1898 Krag. I'm going to pay attention to what these go for because I have 2 boxes of parts that my sister-in-law gave me. A bunch of Mauser parts. $100 drum mag. 100 round drum. A Colt 1911 conversion kit. Wow, people are paying for these reference books. That's crazy. Usually you can't, like, you have to pay somebody to take them away. So I guess if you wait a certain point, they're going to become collectible. Okay. 5 Pro Mag AK mags. Good. We're not even getting $25 for it yet. Friends don't let friends shoot Pro Mags. This I have to take a look at which mags these are. I have to identify them. M14 mags, high power mags, AR mags, anybody? Ramline 30 round mags, Pro Mag AK mags. Okay, these are Korean AK mags. Oh, SGM tactical mags. These are probably going to go stupid high if somebody's smart. HKP7 and 13 mags. These should be about $80 to $100 a piece. And there's 5 there. Okay, G93 mags. S6.8 SBC, Desert Eagle mags. We'll see. And yes, I do sometimes buy magazines for guns I don't yet have. Okay, and there's some ammo. Alright, so 7 boxes, so 45, 7 boxes of $80, so about $12 a box plus the fee, $15 a box. That's not bad right now. We'll see what it actually goes for. 24 boxes. Okay, so these ammo prices are so far not horrible. I don't know if we're going to stay that way or not. So if you want ammo, like I said, and these are the last lots. You might actually get a pretty good deal on like this stuff loaded in bags. Because sometimes people don't want to touch it. Thompson mags, more AR mags, ammo. There's some reloading stuff. Well, like I said, that's why I'm really hoping that people blow all of their money on the SVT-40, because I honestly, it's like, I really want that gun. It's like, it would mean a lot to me. It's like, it's a really nice gun. It's not like you're in like a Barrett, because I mean, I can always get a Barrett. You're not going to be able to find a really good condition SVT-40, especially an original sniper. And like, there's so, like, I buy guns for the history. Like I said, I love the historical aspects of it. And I guess personal story, like, one of the guns I keep kicking myself over. Actually, I have a good collection of Israeli Mausers. So basically, these were German Mausers, or like German captured Mausers that have swastikas on them. And then after the war, they were sold to Israel, and then Israel used them again in their wars. So you have swastikas right next to Star of David. Like that's just cool. So I got 3 of those. One of the ones I really wanted, so there was high powers, Browning high power, well, FN high powers, that were captured by the Nazis. So it's gonna have SS Waffen. It's gonna have SS marks or Waffens or swastikas on them that were then sold to Israel again. Once again, you have Star of David's on them. So like that just, it's like, it's awesome. It's like, I love the history of it. And I ran into one at a gun show, and it was like 650 or 700 at that time, like 10 years ago. I was like, it's a little high. And I haven't really been able to find them again. So kicking myself a little bit over that. So I do hope to kind of get that. And the SVT-40, I just love the SVT-40s. I think it's a really cool gun. It's the first semi-automatic full-size battle rifle from the Soviet Union. Really accurate. Would love to have a sniper. Would really, really, really love to have a sniper. So, I really want it. I really want that gun. All right. Ooh, these are kind of cool. I wonder how big they are. 15. So they're not that big. 22 ammo. Powder measures. Spot on. .12 gauge ammo. 300 Savage. 444 Marlin. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, 444 Marlin was used as the basis for, I think, 454 Casull and a couple others when they chopped them in half. Or something like that. Alright, so here's like basically a prime example. Like I think that's going to go cheap. This ammo, it's loose. 6.5 by 55 Swedish Mauser. I mean, 25 bucks. $375 rounds. And that's where you have a lot of opportunities. This is another place. So like you have a mixed lot of 7.62 by 39. Now there's Chinese, SNB, made in Germany. Huh. You know, for a collector, this would be a really cool lot. Wow. Very cool. M1 carbine. So basically what you can kind of see, like a lot of these smaller lots, ordinarily they would be offline only. Sten Mark III parts kit, CZ26 parts kit, 49 parts kit, 45.7 ammo, Burris spotting scope. Huh, that's a pretty damn good chrono. There's no bids on it yet. John, was that the one you were talking about? The spotting scope might also be a pretty good deal for somebody. What's the magnification on this? 45. Alright, so that's the auction. We went through it all. We went for the 2 days of the auction. Very cool. So guys, make sure to register if you're interested. Just register to create the account. Go for the link. You can go on there and just register to make sure then you have the flexibility to do it. So the other one is actually the last one. Also sent out an email on this. Is the military auction. There is don't even know what's. I don't think they listed it yet. No, they did not list items yet. So yeah, that's the auction that's coming up next week. Are you gonna bid? Are you registered? Let me know in the comments. Thank you guys for joining. I mean, we've been going on for a little over 2 hours, which is pretty cool. And once again, I do plan on doing a live stream during the auction day as well. So we'll see how that goes. But seriously though, like this is a really good auction. There's a lot of really good guns there, and it's gonna be cool. It's definitely gonna be cool. So, and it's April 1st. I think it's time for me to schedule the video. As always, thank you guys for watching. Keep on squatting, and I'll see you guys next time.